Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Tom Morgan Drum Studio. Here we are again in the Sequential Approach to Rudimental Snare Drum, and we've reached page 48 and 49, which are the two supplemental solos that come after solo 9 in the book. And we're focusing on lesson 25 and the single stroke 4, which we went over in our last video. So these two solos just continue on, give you more material to practice using those rudiments along with the rudiments we've already covered. The first one's Crosswind. And it's called that because there's some kind of across the bar line type of rhythms where there's some hemiola patterns thrown in here. If you know what a hemiola is, it just means implying 1 meter when you're in another. But just be careful you watch the stickings for the rolls, for all the flam taps, flam accents, flam paradiddles, flamacus. The tricky two lines that a lot of people struggle with are 4 from the bottom and 3 from the bottom, and it's just really mostly a bunch of flam taps. Sometimes there's a tap, sometimes there's not. So if you took out all the taps on that 4th line from the bottom, it would just be but if I put the taps in, so you notice I'm just alternating and putting the taps in where they belong. So you might have to practice that slower for a while. There's one other thing we have to talk about, and that is an unusual thing at the very beginning. When I play the 7-stroke roll, I'm going to lift my right hand rather than my left to set up that series of flam accents. After that, you just alternate, but that's the one place where you have to lift your right hand in this solo. We've done that in previous solos sometimes to set up the sticking right. All right, so here we go, Crosswind. 1, 2, 1 and 2. All right, the last 2 lines also has a little bit of a tricky part there. Those are all just flam taps there, 2 lines from the bottom, but it's a different rhythm. Instead of just solid 16th notes, it's more syncopated. So slow it down. I think if you look at the sticking, you'll see they're just flam taps. So we're talking about there. All right, and then on the next page, 49, we have Rudimental Roundup. And again, this one, it's pretty straightforward on this one, but you'll see lesson 25s and you'll see some, some triplets. We don't really have much in the way of single stroke 4. We have a couple places where that happens, but this one really kind of focuses more on lesson 25. So here we go. 1, 2, 1 and 2. All right, there's Rudimental Roundup. So as always, practice these slowly at first. Use them as really a technique exercise to work on the all the rudiments, but especially the two new ones we've introduced. And you know, break it down into sections. Practice 2 measures at a time if you need to. You know, use all the practice techniques. Don't just start at the beginning and go through and play it faster than you can really play it and keep making mistake after mistake. Break it up into manageable sections and practice it slowly at first using a metronome and work your way up and be very particular about the position and the sticking. Don't just play it any old way, but really follow that. All right, so please like this video if you liked it and subscribe on the subscribe button and hit the little bell if you want to get notification of more email or more YouTube videos like this. And we'll continue in our next video just moving on through the book, and we'll see you then. Bye.